welcome back to another episode of Level Up. I am your hostess, Wendy Nolin. This week we are talking about a blog post that I wrote in September of 2014. And upon research this past summer for my upcoming book, Own Your Greatness, I realized that this blog post needed to be revised and republished. It's called, Did You Fail or Are You a Failure? I bet some of you out there may identify with labeling yourself a failure. Oh, that's such an icky thing. It doesn't feel good to even think about. Well, I republished this blog post because, like I said, I discovered through my research that the most successful people out there, the people who have really stepped into and own their greatness, never give themselves the option to label anything that they've done or anything that's happened to them as a failure. They look at it as an opportunity to learn. So I want you to read the blog post, but I'm going to give you 7 action steps that you can engage in every day to see maybe if you're falling into the trap of labeling yourself a failure. And I want to help you learn how to detach from that type of a label and just see things as learning opportunities. I refer in the blog post to a book called The New Psycho-Cybernetics by Dr. Maxwell Maltz. And this is a book that I have referred to many, many times over the past year or so in a lot of my blog posts. I would highly recommend that you pick up a copy or subscribe to audible.com and download the audio version. Okay, so the 7 steps are based on one of the chapters in the book by Dr. Maxwell Maltz. And the 7 steps are to revisit your day. Take a look at throughout your day, did you, number 2, have any negative emotions? And if you did, number 3 is go back and if you took out some of your negative emotions on anyone else, maybe make apologies, but then make corrections, right? Correct any wrongs that happened as a result of those negative emotions. Number 4 is to analyze your behaviors and your thought process. Put a stopgap in between something that happens and your reaction to it. And recognize what were the triggers, what was happening, and then what prompted you to have that reaction and spiral into that negative behavior. Number 5 is to identify the ratio of positive to negative behaviors throughout the day, or positive to negative actions and thought processes that you had. Then, number 6 is to resolve to have a better day tomorrow. If you weren't happy with the percentage of positive to negative and you feel like there should have been more positive, well then resolve to do better tomorrow. And then lastly, number 7 is to identify what the positive behaviors should have been or would look like so that tomorrow you can look back at the end of the day and say, aha, there was that time that I could have gone down the negative rabbit hole and felt like a failure and acted aggressively or frustrated and took my feelings out on someone else. But because you took the time today to identify what a more positive behavior would have been, you have now installed a new behavior pattern and a new action. And you have now started to detach from labeling yourself as a failure, which in turn will eliminate those negative emotions. I hope this has been helpful. And take a look at the blog post because there's some really good information in there. As I mentioned, I wrote it in 2014 and republished it just this year with some new updated information. Okay, if you are watching this on Facebook, please give me a thumbs up. And if you're on YouTube, you can also give me a thumbs up. Also, while you're on YouTube, go ahead and click subscribe now. Please visit my website, wendynolin.com/blog, and subscribe to my weekly blog posts as well as my monthly newsletter. In addition, you'll also receive a free gift for subscribing as my way of saying thank you. While you're out there on the World Wide Web, I would really appreciate it if you could connect with me on Twitter, follow me on Facebook, link in with me on LinkedIn, +1 me on Google+, of course subscribe to my YouTube channel, and of course pin with me on Pinterest. This is Wendy of Wendy Nolin Worldwide, challenging you to keep leveling up, and I will see you on the flip side.